show on Lifetime called I Wasn't Expecting a Baby. And while it might seem like a lie, cryptic pregnancies are real for lots of women. And I spoke with two women who have worked to document the journey. How in the world do you go 9 months and not know you had a baby on the way?
Honestly, I don't even know the answer to that question. It just happens. I didn't have any symptoms. There was nothing leading up to it that would have been like, she's pregnant. So there was nothing at all that really even, there's no reason to it.
Jesse, how in the world did you find a group of women with the same story and make something incredible like you did?
I think people don't realize that 1 in 2,500 pregnancies are cryptic, which obviously that's a big number. But when you start to look for the stories, it's not that big. There are a lot of women who have experienced this. And to speak to Kayla's situation, when I sat there and interviewed her, I mean, she was losing weight. She was getting her period. She had absolutely no symptoms of pregnancy. So she definitely didn't know it. Her family didn't know it. And as crazy as it is to believe, it's very, very true. And it happens to way more women than you think it does.
So now thinking about the community that has been built around this show as well, do you guys keep in contact with each other, all the ladies on the show?
Me personally, I haven't met any other women on the show. I'd love to meet them. But I have had a bunch of people reach out to me telling me they had the same exact experience as me. So I do talk to quite a few women who've had the same experience as me, and they ask me for tips, and we kind of just chat on how we suddenly snapped into motherhood.
So now, Jesse, just thinking about all the different projects you could have come up with, the topics to make something, what really was the driving force for you to pick this?
I honestly kept seeing these stories on my TikTok, and I was fascinated. And TikToks are short. So I think there's way more to the 9 months of pregnancy than was able to be shown in just a TikTok video. So I'm so thankful for Lifetime for believing in this concept. And the second I got in front of Kayla and was interviewing her and her family and got to meet her daughter, I was like, there is something really, really special here to show the world that this is a really real thing. And it's happening today, probably.
Also through college. Have you found it easier to talk about it? How are you supporting other folks at this time?
For me, it wasn't, I don't consider it anymore a traumatic experience because I guess I've just gotten so used to the idea, and I'm very like, what's meant to happen happens type of person. So for me, it's super easy to talk about it. I talk about it all the time. Literally look me up. I'm talking about it probably. And it's just, I'd love to share my story or like around the world. So when Jesse reached out to me, absolutely, I want to share my story. I want to tell everyone. I have a beautiful daughter that I want to tell the world about.
For the driving point for folks who, the title alone is like, wait a minute, what? But like, how do you want women to really take on this project? Or what do you want them to see when they watch this?
Want to kind of put the stereotype away that even though you didn't have the 9 months to prepare, you could still be a successful mother. It's not every cryptic pregnancy story is negative. Mine personally is a very positive story. And I kind of just want to take the stereotype away that people, like when people hear about it, right away, they don't believe it. You just don't believe it. It's shocking. So they automatically put that negative side to it. And I want to tell people that it's actually the opposite.
I completely agree with her. I mean, all of these stories, these women are so grateful for their children. It's a blessing. And on top of that, every story is different. We tell so many different stories that all end with a baby. And I think the important thing to take away as a viewer is to advocate for yourself as a woman. If something feels off, or you're going to the doctor, or they don't believe you, or whatever it is, we know our bodies. So we have a lot of facts throughout the show that you'll learn, and I think you'll walk away not only believing that cryptic pregnancies are incredibly real and happen all the time, but two, you'll know the signs and symptoms. If something is off, maybe you can go to the doctor where without watching the show, you previously might not have.